last time, anytime a rule is proposed and it's changed, everyone talks about what are the unintended consequences that will be born out of this rule change. And I'm just wondering if there might be some hesitancy on this rule change just merely because the last time there was a major to-do born out of a playoff game that a rule change was instituted. It was a total disaster in making a reviewable play out of pass interference. And again, that's an apple and this is an orange that we're talking about, but still the idea is to make a rule change that is significant enough based on a playoff moment. And I'm just wondering, what are the unintended consequences that are being discussed? Because the way I look at it, I wouldn't want the ball first now. You're basically giving anybody who gets the ball first in overtime, you're kind of flipping it. I'd want to know exactly what I need to do. And I want to know exactly what I need to do because I could be a hell of a lot more aggressive than the team that gets the ball first because of it, So how does that fix anything?
I totally agree with you. I think that most teams, if both teams are guaranteed a possession to start overtime, I think it could do a couple of things, neither of which is bad. Number one, it could obviously, I think most teams will defer. Most, if not all, will defer because obviously if you win the coin toss, theoretically you should get some small advantage, theoretically, and that would seem to me to be that you would possess the ball second. I think the strategic things, rather than talking about unintended bad consequences, I think there are some cool strategic things. Number one, let's just say that you win the toss and you defer. And so team A now, who gets the ball first, they score a touchdown and they say, okay, well, geez, we got Patrick Mahomes on the other side. So what we're going to do is we're going to head him off at the pass. We're going for 2 right now. So let's say they go for 2 and make it. So now Kansas City gets the ball, Team B, and they have to go and score a touchdown and get a 2-point conversion. And then, the first team is going to get the ball back if indeed that's how it happens. But I think there's a lot of things that could happen if this rule is passed, but none of them are remotely as egregious in terms of basic fairness to say that, in the last 4 years we have seen Josh Allen of the Buffalo Bills be on the wrong end of the coin toss and not get a chance to touch the ball in overtime. And we have seen Patrick Mahomes against Tom Brady in 2018 not get a chance to possess the ball, even though Kansas City in that particular game was hot as a firecracker. And so those are the things that, in my opinion, Rich, are worse than any strategical things that would come about, changing this rule.
I hear you, Peter, but I don't know. I mean, so we heard Tomlin basically say.
Here's a question. In the last 36 overtime games, the last 36,
yes,
the team that won the toss elected to receive the ball. The last time a team won the toss and elected to defer and to defend a goal was Mike Tomlin in 2019 when Duck Hodges was his quarterback and he was playing a great defense, the Baltimore Ravens, which is totally understandable. But 36 times in a row, the coin flip determined who got a huge advantage in a game, which is getting the ball first, and if you score a touchdown, the game is over. In my opinion,
yes.
I don't understand why that doesn't lend to more, I don't even want to say outrage, but the sense of unfair play and the sense of influence that the silly flip of a coin has on huge football games.
Well, and the silly flip of a coin that happens right after 60 minutes is played and blood, sweat, and tears have been spilled, and now we're in a whole different ball of wax strategically, clockwise. That the toss is then done there. The idea that one of the callers to this show, Peter, came up with that I really dig a lot is that you tie the opening coin toss of the game to whether you get the decision in overtime. So if you win the opening coin toss and you defer, you're giving the ball to start overtime to your opponent, and then you don't mandate both teams touch it and you play it out just the way it goes. And, if you lose, it's just like, well, then you're the one who gave them the ball to start. And we've known that for 3.5 real-time hours. So we're not sitting there shocked at, oh, God, that just happened. It's just like, well, that's on you because you wanted to defer. You wanted the ball to start the second half. You've coughed that up and you just play it out. Because, again, I just find that we're just going to be moving the deck chairs. We're just going to be complaining about something else. Like, well, of course that team won because they knew they had to go for it. They had to go for it on 4th and 3 from their own 33-yard line, which the team that gets the ball to start overtime wouldn't have to do. Of course they're going to punt it and play for another day because they have the ability to, the team that gets it second can play it a totally different way than the team that gets it first. That's why I don't like it. Like we're just going to be talking about something completely else. That's all.
But what's more unjust? What is more unjust? What you saw happen to when look, the defenses in these two games that I bring up mostly.
Yes.
The Kansas City New England AFC Championship game and then the Kansas City Buffalo divisional game.
Yes.
In both of those games.
Yes.
Offenses have changed in football. Some of them are so incredibly overpowering that they have just beaten up the opposing defense the whole game. And so what happens is you get to overtime, and why do you think anything is going to be different? After Kansas City has scored 36 points against Buffalo during regulation, how do you have any hope that Buffalo is going to stop them in overtime? I mean, and conversely, the Chiefs were getting track meted by Tom Brady, and hey, look, and so was New England's defense by Mahomes. My only point in all this, and Rich, I don't mind that. I don't mind that your thought about the coin flip or whoever came up with that.
Right.
I guess what I say is, how owners are.
Right.
People who get proposed something like that coin flip rule, they're just going to say, it's too complicated for me. I don't want to deal with it. Or, I don't like it. I don't like it. It doesn't make sense. It's all this. All I'm saying is we're going to argue about this stuff and what you like and don't like, and then, so nothing gets done. And then there's going to be the same rule that prevents basic fairness in a football game, which is if it wasn't that big a deal, the coin flip, why have 36 coaches in a row all chosen to take the ball when they win the flip to start overtime? And that, to me, is the madness. We're gonna argue over all these various things instead of just saying, okay, I don't love this one, but it's better than the current system. So let's at least get this one, and then let's try to see if we can get owners to see that, hey, the coin flip at the start of the game, that's going to dictate what could start overtime. So, that's all I'm saying, that there can be all kinds of great ideas, but a great idea is not necessarily an idea that's going to pass muster with 24 of 32 owners.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.